Morbid curiosity. It's the human impulse that makes us unable to look away from a car crash. The shamefully human side of us that can't look away when our Sonic the Hedgehog OC is put into compromised situations on DeviantArt. They'll never touch you, my beautiful. They can't get you. It's the human curiosity that makes you go, I don't know what a cake fart is, but now I need to find out. Let's see here. Oh no. That's a perfectly good chocolate cake. Oh, God. Oh, there's nothing worse than being blindsided by something you can't unsee. Am I?
That's Mama Luigi to you, Mario!
Well, that morbid curiosity is what brings us here today. See, I thought I was done with Andypants videos. Like, how much crud can you draw from the stone, you know? In my last video, it did come to my attention that he was coming out with a game, but I didn't pay much mind other than the fact that he named it Chad versus the Gay Nazis, which is perhaps the most fragile way of self-reporting that you're an insecure boy who lacks the creativity, skill, or talent to make something of actual substance, and you need to rely on bigoted tropes and rhetoric to punch down in a desperate bid to obtain any sort of relevance or following. That was all I had to say about it. And it's what the most unlikable people in the world do when they hit the wall on how far their lack of personality, skill, or talent will take them. And so it puts Andypants in the company of, fail son art titans like Ben Shapiro, Adolf Hitler, failed artists of the highest order. No need to build yourself or, God forbid, others up when you can find personal success in mediocrity by doing your best to push your fellow citizens to the ground to be trampled by the boots of a fascist administration that hates them and all of us. You too. So I figured there probably won't be a need to cover this game, you know? It looks like ass. A single-cell organism could predict the jokes, and he apparently dedicated this bigot simulator to his daughter. Oh, that's some true freak shit. Okay, goddamn. Morbid curiosity, you win again. I'm not gonna pay for this piece of shit game, though, or go through the trouble of finding it. Luckily, there's heroes among us. Extremely rad YouTuber and personal favorite of mine, Dead Domain, did the world a solid and streamed it, so we could immortalize Andypants' miserable excuse for a game and never let anyone forget how far his hateful little grift has taken him. And joking aside, for a minute as a father myself, I find the fact that he dedicated this game to his child appallingly disgusting. The goal of my channel has always been to find an entertaining way to fill people in on this kind of garbage, but particularly fellow parents of mine who might have kids around my age, and might be dealing with other kids who are consuming a lot of male-centric content, which has been incredibly damaging to kids' perception of the world and how people should interact and treat each other. The Andrew Tates, the Sneekos, and the like have empirically done damage to the youth, and I'll be damned if that toxic bullshit is pushed onto my child. Whether this is something that Andypants did as part of his grift, or to virtue signal his Christian morality or something, or maybe it was a genuine dedication. I don't know. It's irrelevant. He immortalized his dedication to his daughter in this shameful display of hate, and a child shouldn't have to be referenced even in the slightest context next to hatred like this ever. So even though we're going to be having a laugh at Andypants' game and how truly piss poor he is at creating art, a truly heartfelt and genuine fuck you goes out to Andypants for being such a hateful little bigoted coward and for associating his child with this kind of hate. And I feel like in this day and age, it's super important to document all these things that these guys do because, everybody considers themselves the person who, if they were back in the civil rights era or something, they would have been standing up or they would have been doing the right thing in the history books. But we have so many streamers now saying unhinged, hateful shit about immigrants, Palestinians, there's just all this crazy bullshit going out there. And I feel like, eventually a lot of these guys are going to start rolling back what they've said about things like, Asmongold's whole view on Palestinians, right? Even if you apologize for this stuff, you've had a bad take, and you're looking for the same kind of grace that everybody else gets, you don't get that because you've created something that exists in perpetuity on the internet spouting hate, right? Asmongold's clip saying Palestinians are an inferior culture and he doesn't care if they get genocided should live on forever so that everyone remembers no matter what he says, he said that at one point and he did damage. So when Andypants makes a game like this, I think it's worth, you know, cementing his takes here. Even if he ever comes around to say he, you know, writes any of this stuff off, which I don't think he'll ever do. But even if he did, right? It's like, no, the damage is done. You made this game. You cemented hate like this. There's people who, you know, the 7 people who reviewed it support this game, right? So, like, you know, he just made 7 bigots feel awesome. And that's a terrible thing to do. You know, don't make bigots feel good. That's a very simple way of life. Just live your life like that and things should pretty much be cool. So yeah, the history book should remember the terrible things that these guys do and not give them the opportunity to just flip it around and be like, oh, I learned my lesson or whatever, because you did damage with the big audience, and that matters. Hopefully this is the last time we have to talk about the panted one here, because he's just a fucking garbage human. But let's take a look at Chad versus the gay Nazis here, the game here at least, and see what the whole deal is, because I have a feeling he knew he couldn't make a game and was just trying to put out the most offensive thing he possibly could so that it would get taken down and he could create a little story about, you know, oh, everybody's trying to censor me or whatever, you know, the woke libs, whatever, etc., etc. So let's see what he's got going on here. But real quick, before we dive in, if you want to catch up on the background of Drew Trazers here, you can check out one of my first videos on him. I'll link in the descriptions below. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Hellion.Vision, and we do all sorts of shit on this channel. We make fun of the worst little stinkers who make the world terrible for others. So if that's your bag, feel free to sub to my channel so I can dom your dome with humdingers about the dumbest dullards and dubiest of dinglords. If you somehow aren't subscribed to Dead Domain, I urge you to sub and watch their full playthrough of the game after this video. None of us would have been able to analyze how Andy soiled his pants thoroughly without their playthrough of this trash game. And I cut out a lot of commentary, obviously, so I give my own, but Dead Domain is one of these smart YouTubers with a brain that you won't be finding on this channel. So go check them out after this video. Now, let's get our silly goose hats on and make fun of a bigot, shall we? Honk honk.
See, like here's the thing. I was like, no, I'm gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna like completely not pay attention to it. I don't care enough about Andypants. He's cringe. And then I saw this on Twitter. Somebody shared this exact image. And I was like, okay, I can't not.
Okay, so I wanted to leave that in because it's just such a good way of introducing Andypants to the uninitiated. Because even though he has over 500,000 subscribers, lots of people just haven't heard of this guy in the same way that they've heard of the dry heave-inducing tales and takes of Grums, Asmongold, and other chud dumpsters who monetize the equivalent of digital diarrhea. So it's worth keeping in mind that even the grossest dudes on the planet are embarrassed by the chud hustle of this talentless hack.
And because he immediately dipped so far into being an edgy boy, none of the other people who are still like kind of leading the charge on this shambling corpse of a movement, so people like Grums, people like Smash JT, nobody really wants to break bread with him. Nobody really wants to pay attention to him. And let me tell you, stuff like this is probably fucking why, because he is just a perpetual embarrassment to himself and all of the ideas that he espouses. RCB Blazer, is that supposed to be Joel and Sarah from The Last of Us? No, but see, that's what happens when you have all of your assets made by AI generation and you have no creative vision at all. It just pulls shit from other shit.
Oh yeah, last thing before we get into the gameplay. Apparently this game was made using AI generated pixel art. And Andy even says as much in the credits. Just another sign of the absolute lack of creative ability on Andypants' part. Speaking of which, check out these credits, baby.
Okay, chat, you're not getting that. Here's the credits. Here's the credits music that immediately started playing. That's incredible.
Nuance, subtlety. There's none to be found here. He claims to have learned how to code in 40 days by the grace of God, although I wouldn't say that was a miracle, maybe more like an apocalypse event. I don't think telling ChatGPT to make your game really counts, Andy. That's like commissioning a piece of art and being like,
I made this with my own 2 hands by the divine grace of the Lord.
All right, give me a second. Can I? Of course I cannot pause it. Dog. ITF. Look at that shitty fucking AI generated one-seat car. Female officer cat motivate them. Where was there? I'm fucking Oh, cause he's a Chad. Yeah, no, he's abducting a child in a school bus in the middle of the desert, and he's apparently the good guy. That's not how you spell sweetie. It's spelled with an I-E, you fucking ding-dong.
Dead Domain's laughter perfectly sums up that intro, but what really makes me laugh, beyond how dumb the premise is just how poorly constructed this male fragility simulator is. Andy couldn't even be bothered to fully clean up the pixel art he so lovingly prompted into ChatGPT. I can't even get to the part where the AI art makes me mad because the proportions of things are just wonky and weird and things don't match and it just sucks. Because Andy couldn't even be bothered to cleanly cut these AI generated images out. What are these sloppy edges, sir? I thought real men were supposed to put their blood, sweat, and toil into their work. Andy, what happened here? Thingies got tired? You don't need a beta-ass pair of glasses, do you? Yeah, clean those pixels up, sir.
If they catch you, you will be injected with estrogen until you start thinking the show New Girl is funny. Is that a preoccupation that, like, dorks have? That you're effeminate if you like New Girl?
I love Dead Domain's response there because they just cannot fathom the inner workings of the common North American cis bob het pants. As a bob myself, allow me to explain. See, tons of dudes I know are absolutely clueless about queer culture, and this isn't because there's disinterest in the culture, no. Like black culture, queer culture is the underlying fabric that makes up pop culture and gets appropriated by the population at large without them even knowing. Just about every man knows what spilling the tea is, and may even use the verbiage without even realizing they're engaging with queer culture. But to engage with genuine interest in queer culture for a lot of men would mean their perceived admission of
absolute and total homosexuality.
I'm being hyperbolic, obviously, but if Andy referenced anything that could be perceived as genuinely gayer than New Girl, it could call into question his own masculinity. Now, of course, the great irony here is that interest in queer culture doesn't make you less manly. As a matter of fact, being comfortable and respectful of other cultures is a cornerstone of masculinity. Long story short, Andy is using New Girl because he's a bigoted little boy, that's all.
Oh God. Oh, this is ass, bro. The gay what the fuck are those? I love how the perspective is entirely different for the... Oh, look at that, like, radio static ass background that's speeding by. It's STD? What the fuck? Yeah, no, this does look like when he said this was made in 40 days, I believe it. I believe it. Dad, look out, they're shooting STDs at us.
Dude, this game is everything.
If everything was nothing, the void, absolute non-existence.
I mean, the bare minimum is here that can be called a game. It's essentially an AI-generated clip art gallery, and now Andypants' computer is just filled to the brim with gay AI art, and I just can't fathom how you do that and at no point go,
am I being weird? Why is everyone so gay? Is it weird for a dad in his 40s to be doing Why is everyone but me gay? What does stubble feel like when Master Chief? Is it weird? Like Master Am I weird? Wait. I bet he's gay.
Well, that was weird.
Oh, I can't shoot behind me. Cool. Great. I can't shoot ahead of me either. What the fuck, dude? Deploy the Discord mod? What? Oh my god! Damn it. Oh, fucking... The mark of great game design? When he played his own game and was like... Nah, I'll put a skip in. This is a game for hardcore game. Yeah, I just want to fucking... I do not care that much. I got this job because I'm a black lesbian. I don't even know what these blinky lights do. It's okay, Soul Sister. You know what's more important than either of our lives? Diversity. I sure as hell ain't dying with no white man with his dick chopped off. You know how people talk. Hassan Piker told me
Hassan Hiker.
nobody is free until everyone is tea. Oh, fucking title drop. Yep, late title card, dude. Put it on the Giant Bomb wiki. And Andypants Productions. It certainly is. Yep, reusing the same thing from the very beginning. Emphasis on the child isn't weird at all.
One of the bloodiest in human history, with total casualties estimated to be between 2 and 15 million people. The subjugation of the Khwarezmian lands provided a base for the Mongols' later assaults on Georgia and the rest of Persia.
What? Chad, can I help you? Can I not? Oh, that was this like 40, 50-year-old man's desktop with the anime AI waifus. That's, yep, just clipping through shit. This is, like, this should be taken off of sale just because, like, this is not a product that was ready for consumption. I love the completely differing art styles for the kid walking. Watch when he stops and turns around. Totally different. Great.
Yeah, this shit is busted. And Andy has to know it. I mean, I don't think he really wanted to release a real or working game. He knows he can't develop. He only spent 40 days on this shit. He probably just slapped together the most offensive seeming stuff he could generate with AI and bot assets in an attempt to make sure it can get taken down off of storefronts and he can make a big story out of it. Like, oh, the woke left is censoring me. Like, when in reality, he knows he has no talent or ability to create, so he's selling a bit of his soul to make a hot pile of shit that he can self-victimize off of. Prove me wrong, Andypants. Make anything of actual quality. Even your YouTube videos are of piss poor quality. Prove that you can make one actual piece of art and that there's a soul to the words you say and the things you preach. You know, I don't think you could. Monetizing bigot tiers at the expense of others is way easier. So I really don't think that there's any creative anything to be seen from Andypants. You know, it's just like the equivalent of comedians getting applause instead of laughs, right? Like, you just say something that somebody else thought of or that is popular within a certain demographic of people, and then you get some applause, right? Instead of actually creating anything. So, whatever, onward through more slop we go then.
Furious cat mom, babies belong in the dumpster. See, it's this kind of thing. Gay, black, Jewish dads for Christ. Weird to throw black. See, again, like black and Jewish. I understand that you have a weird hang up, Andy, about gay people being like morally degenerate or whatever. But when you throw black and Jewish people in there, kind of seems like you hold all those things on a continuum. Kind of seems like you're fucking racist, my dude. Furious cat mom, babies. Heterosexual marriage is hateful, racist, and xenophobic. You know, like we all believe. Another alt-right Trump-supporting chud. If a man would ever touch me, I hope I get pregnant so I can kill it.
Okay, he also can't write, but that's not really surprising at this point.
Do you understand that you and all of your terrible ideas will die with you? If you never have children, how will your legacy live on? So he can just regurgitate all this shit that he's got on 4chan that forms the basis of what he thinks is an identity. Sending a message about owning the chuds before I die. You know how people talk and think. All right, let's talk to this. Yep, nothing weird. Oh, yep. I'm... Seriously? Okay, no. I was stuck on... Not a good look, Andy. Yeah, let's... Can I not? Oh. That sure is a character portrait. When I turn 7, they can turn me into a girl. Based on my brain barely developed at all, that seems like a good idea. Gay, Arab, tranny lives matter. They do. They do. I'm glad he at least knows that. Let's clip into this classroom and see. What are they teaching in black lesbian class, it looks like. All right, what do we... There. Oh, God. Look at these Silent Hill abominations stapled to these chairs. What in... Holy Jehoshaphat. Can I can't... They didn't. I don't know. He must. That must be. That's coming in the later version, y'all. That's coming in the update. Phantom Liberty, Chad versus the gay Nazis. Phantom Liberty is you're gonna be able to talk to those people. Oh, good. Another entirely different art style for a character portrait. You love to see it. Be queer, strike fear. Andy, it's pretty clear you're afraid of gay people already. But thank you for giving me a kick-ass t-shirt slogan too.
Yeah, for all the shit Andy's trying to talk, he's accidentally coming up with some slammers. Be queer, strike fear? That's hard as hell, dude. That's like the sickest name for a metal album.
Yeah, no, Andy, you made a game where you go kidnap a child and then also spend apparently the first section of it just wandering around as an adult man talking to small children? And you have the temerity to be like, yeah, no, these gay people, they're the weird ones. 2 of 10 messes, 50% social credit. Apparently the morning announcements in the future are just going to be Muslim prayers. Inshallah, children. At the end of the day, this is really just about killing white people, destroying Christianity, and hating Western culture. Buddy, white people have no culture. I don't think people really say that. But white people very obviously have a culture. For example, New Girl. I made a thing earlier. Linkin Park. Huh? White people? Like, let's be real. Let's throw it out here for a minute. White people done some pretty bad things. But on the other hand, Bionicles. Dexter's Laboratory. Linkin Park. Green Day. Huh? Come on.
Dead Domain is a goddamn gem. Bionicles is white culture is one of the funniest things I've ever heard, and it's the total and complete truth. White culture can be summed up as Bionicles, ass pick, and the drunken unison of chemically altered Caucasians screaming the part of Sweet Caroline that goes, whoa, oh, oh, without any regard for key signature. And you can swap that last one out for all of Bohemian Rhapsody or an introverted obsession with Weird Al at your own discretion. Guess which one I was in? Fuck!
Now we all know that racism pretty much ended in the 1980s. We? Brother, you got a mouse in your pocket? Who's fucking we? Okay, it's just the same. It's just kid number 2. And they're just phasing in and out of walls. Like fucking Kitty Pryde over here. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize we were at Xavier's school. Gay furry pedophile Nazi. Is that supposed to be a child or a teacher?
Uh-oh.
Okay, a gay furry pedophile Nazi. The Trump administration wants to round all gay people up in camps. Who is Trump? He's a politician that exists in a universe that's not the universe of this game. I've never seen anyone on the right support the idea of rounding gay people in camps. What I have seen is them simply asking you not to sexually molest children. Dude. I'm not even going to read that. You're fucking sick, dude. You can do whatever literally you want in your private life. And it's like, okay, you're, no, because people do what they want in their private lives. And then weirdo freaks like you get so fixated on people's private lives and their private belief systems that conflict with yours that you make bizarre fantasies like this. I will fucking end your life, you freak. Trans rights are human rights. Wrong. You don't have the right to get near my kid. Otherwise, I will end your life.
How genuinely afraid of your own weakness do you have to be to make something like this and self-project yourself as the main character? Yeah, Andypants looks sort of like this guy. So it's clear the main character is how he envisions himself. But like a scared man hides behind a mask. And here's a crystal clear look at Andy's mask. He's a scared boy trying to protect himself from the things he doesn't understand, with threats of violence. Threats that he's certainly too cowardly to make to someone's face in public. But that's irrelevant. He's trying to project this trans people are predators narrative that regular human beings that are, you know, fellow citizens, fellow people who have the same sorts of dreams and goals as anybody else, they're just different than him. And that makes them an inherent threat to society. And they need to be dealt with through violent means. Like, Andy's genuine beliefs are completely irrelevant now. Grift or not, he's gone too far. This content will cause damage to the world and make it less safe for his daughter, to whom this game is fucking dedicated. Yeah, fuck this monster, man.
I am sure this black man will not at all be a stereotype in this game made by a dude who thinks racism ended in the 80s, apparently. Mighty Queef, I resent white people despite them funding me. If a black person goes to jail, it's because the system is rigged against them, but if a white person goes to jail, it's justice. Again, things that nobody believes or says. Data is racist. Charts are racist. I know for a fact bar graphs are infected with whites. You've been trying to keep the black man down for 400 years. How much do you think he actually knows about the history of race in America? How much do you think he knows what redlining is in any way? Apparently, this school is just a gallery of people he can prop up to be straw men of why he dislikes leftists. Ton of based black people agree with. I'm not. This is like saying I'm not transphobic. Brianna Wu agrees with me. It's like I'm not racist. Actually, Myron Gaines and Candace Owens say the exact same thing. As a privileged white male, you should understand that we can't have equality in a world with you in it. Literally, nobody's ever talked like this. I'm a janitor. When does that white privilege kick in? Very funny. You've clearly got a long way to go in doing the work to check your privilege and repent of your own white supremacy. As your manager, I'm deducting 200 social credit for transphobia. For doing absolutely nothing. Okay, sure. Look at how fucking fuzzy the sprites are. Like, nothing is in the proper resolution. Oh, it all just, like, look at how tiny some of these assets are compared to this fucking, what Ben Shapiro might call a bear of a man. As a deep cut Ben Shapiro joke. Okay, I can talk to you. Brother. I'm helping to end injustice. All right, let me do a basement dwelling Redditor. Okay. I'm helping to end injustice online. We live under the tyranny of white supremacy. America is a racist nation. I apologize for being white constantly. Again, with the racism was pretty much over. This is a weird... Here we go. Okay. Dog, dude. Racism was pretty much over in America by the 1980s. This is why we have incredibly popular movies and video games starring black people and popular black athletes. Michael Jordan, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock. This reads like this certainly does read like a list of black people a 40 or 50-year-old knows. Oprah, Blade, The Walking Dead game, Barrett, Augusta. What fucking...
I don't know if this whole, like, racism was solved in the 80s, like, because of sitcoms mentality is, but it's silly as shit, because sitcoms at that time were literally talking about racism and homophobia as, like, a serious issue in society, but we all know the mentality is silly, and I'd be curious to hear if any of those black people Andypants listed who were real, Walking Dead, the game, is not a person, Andy, you silly goose, have opinions on racism being a problem today. I wonder what they would think of Andy's little game here. Like, something tells me Oprah wouldn't like it. And not for nothing, Andy would not have the stones to present to them this AI illustration he made of a black man wearing a shirt that says, I resent white people despite them funding me. He's your typical keyboard coward, far closer to the Redditors he mocks, rather than the Chad he envisions himself to be.
I can't wait to be a trans sex worker like teacher one day. So when does the game start? Yeah, no, this is like, do not tell me I'm fucking stuck after. Dog. Can I not? Wiggle away. Wiggle away from me. Are you fucking kidding me with this game? Menu, yeah. I'm Cuddles, the heckin' social credit doggo. How do you, did you not put a fucking menu on this thing? There's not a quit button. There's not a save or anything. What the fuck? Is this just hell? I'm sure nothing racist or weird will be said by this person. BLM teacher activist with a AI sign that says kill white. Do other lives not matter? Great. Tell that to the next black man gunned down in the street by police. Yeah, that shit happens, bucko. Do you know more black babies are aborted? Imaginary oppression of black people by police. I could lose custody of my kids again. What's going on with this caster? Tools from the office. What? I skipped over that too much, but he just dropped the fucking F slur. Like, what? I forgot. Where am I going? Am I going? I do love the juxtaposition of him being like, I'm obviously not a hateful person. Jesus loves you. This I know. And then just randomly springing slurs everywhere in his fucking game. The United Diverse States of America adopted the Hate Speech Act. This act would make any acts of hate speech punishable by law by the UDSA government. Criticizing a government employee, owning or reading a Bible. The fuck? Oh, it's he put a Flappy Bird section in here. Can I? Oh, no. Gay bad. Oh my god, I didn't even hit it. You fucking... What? Okay, flashback time. Daddy, can we play Princess versus Ninja one more time? Sure, Nugget. Kindap. Kindap. What? That's not how you spell mommies or daddies. You don't have an apostrophe. Pro, you know you're my favorite gringo, but what is up with liberal white people hating themselves? Y'all be hating yourselves. You know how people do. I ain't complaining because the gay Nazis gave me cushy job because I was brown, but it's some bullshit, let's be honest. It didn't always used to be like this. Okay, yeah, this one looks easier than the last one. Can I just... Oh my god, I can. You can just go out of bounds over the entire thing. You can just go out of it. I can't fucking even. Did I go over the... No. Oh no, did I go too far out? Pastor Diddler, Christ, and he's wondering why this game is getting like delisted. Also, fucking hysterical to be like, yeah, no, the gay pastors are gonna touch the kids. It's like, brother, I kind of feel like you're not really staying in tune, in touch with the church scene, because it's kind of been a problem with the straight ones forever. Jesus references the righteous destruction of Sodom for having gay butt sex. You know, like a normal Christian talks.
Yeah, so obviously the Christians aren't even happy with Andy for making this game, and he really wanted to win over the conservative Christian crowd, but they don't even think that this is it. I found one comment reviewing his game, and I'm warning you now, even though this guy is criticizing Andypants, this is totally an unhinged comment and kind of hilarious. So he states, well, the level of counter-blasphemy and insults is hard for we Christians to get on board and fight this way. I certainly appreciate his bravado and tenacity for the Lord, but it's a bit too much. Remember, we need to be as cunning as a viper, and yep, pure as a dove. So if he could meld those two to make an awesome anti-gay woke game, that'd be great. I love that, like, if Andypants could make a nice game about persecuting homosexuals, that would be really great. I want to share my hate with my kids. Like, this is not the real thing. Do people realize how hypocritical and insane they sound when they say stuff like that? Like, and I don't think most Christians think that way, but, like, this guy's hilarious. It cracked me up, truly.
Hey, plus 50 social credit. Cuck man. They told me if I injected myself with 500 of estrogen every day, it would get me more viewers on YouTube. So is this supposed to be, who's this supposed to be? I'll do literally anything to chase an audience and get tits. Inject myself with estrogen, go to Pride Parade, say Delta Force 2025 is good. Didn't multiple, is this supposed to be Act Man? Multiple companies pay you off to give good reviews of games like Payday 3. So he's saying Act Man would take 500 milliliters of estrogen. That's too much. Again, they just have no idea how, like, this shit works. Look at a little Satan fountain. That's cute. Am I? Dog. Get me. No. No. Stop it. Trapping me in the... Ugh. He's totally not mad, bro. He's totally not mad. Please, whatever you do, don't say he's mad. Pasan Hiker. Haha, Andypants is obviously closeted and gay. Yeah, no, that's... Why would anybody think that in this game where you're, like, constantly talking about trans people's tits and dicks and constantly sexualizing them and talking about sex work and them putting makeup on and taking estrogen? Why would anybody assume that? Oh, no, please, nobody say I'm mad. You fucking human corn cob. Isn't he married with, like, 2 kids? See, that's just a lifelong, dedicated, elaborate cover for an obviously gay man. This has never happened before. Famously, no gay man has ever been married and had multiple kids before and come out later in life. Dude. Him telling off Hassan, what seems more likely is that you're fucking gay.
Why does every homophobic man think that everyone wishes they were gay so they could have sex with them? That is the strangest thought process. Like, I hate gay people. They all want to kiss up on me and tickle me real soft, like, while whispering to me and making me feel safe in a way I'll never forget. They're so obsessed with me. It's so weird. I hope they never kiss me. Like he wants to call other people weird freaks. He had to AI generate a 6-year-old child with lipstick. Oh, God damn it! Let me out, you little shit! Ah! Look at these dog shit. What? No, I'm not even stuck on it! Clip into this tree. God damn it, Andy. Hey, bro, we done with all the stuff for the parade. There's gonna be a pride parade. There's gonna be a pride parade. Want to get near kids. Isn't freedom and liberty what America's all about? In the 2020s, we were forced to celebrate it. Yep, that sure is a reflection of the world happening right now. God, I fucking wish, dude. Destiny Charisma Smith. Down with the white man, down with tyrants. Why I call yourself Nazis? It's because the blind, thoughtless devotion of Hitler followers is something we want to copy. My brother. My dude. Oh, no. It's because YouTube is actually based free speech. Incredible. Incredible. Jesus Christ, dude. Praise the maker, she is merciful. Program sponsored by the maker to identify 10-year-olds who show potential as sex workers strip. I love that he's like sex workers, strippers, and dude. I'm sorry. He just showed what are they clearly don't look like it, but what are supposed to be 10-year-old strippers? He also said one of them was his daughter, Lainey. The game Andypants, dedicated to his real-life daughter, has a depiction of his self-insert character's daughter as a 10-year-old stripper. This is genuinely sickening, man. Running a bigoted grift for cash is shameful enough, but I hope Andypants feels a deep sense of shame for this for the rest of his life, and I hope his daughter never finds out about any of this. I hope so much that he didn't do something like show her the gameplay while he's making it, be like, look, daddy's making a game, isn't that so cool? Like, no child deserves this shit pushed on them. Fuck you forever, Andypants, truly. You fucking suck.
There's something about this sprite art that actually looks like a 90s, like, text-based adventure game that I kind of actually like. The rest of it is, oh, rad, cool. Oh, see, no, he's such a badass Chad. He's gonna fight the Nazi robot. Fear not, the maker will treat your daughter well. This is fucking unhinged, dude. Terminator and Braveheart, huh? The Terminator and Braveheart, like, that's actually fucking sad, dude. The most gameplay this thing has had is just mopping. Your history of homophobia? Yeah, like you're unfit to be a fucking father, dude. I haven't posted anything on social media in 2 years. Yeah, okay. Look at the shitty face he had to like put onto the white. Oh, the music. Oh, look at Laura. Someone else in chat said this earlier, but I think it's hilarious that his self-insert is also divorced and doesn't have custody. Makes you think. Makes you think. I mean, if there's one thing you can't say, it's that he's not putting aspects of himself into his art. Huh, let's have a peek. Yeah, let's. I moved to your Twitch chat. Thank you for 100 bits, Screw Bucket. I'm like dying squirt. Name of Rain, thank you for $10. Thank you so much. This is like a fever dream where you take too much Sudafed. This would be bonkers on like edibles. I don't like that it came to this. What the fuck, dude?
So Dead Domain was reading chat there, but what was just censored on screen was a room full of computer monitors displaying CP that Andy himself generated with AI. In his game dedicated to his daughter, where he blames every minority group for the abuse of children, he created a room filled with sexually explicit images of minors. Yeah, Dead Domain is 100% correct. Andypants is not fit to be a father. This is an incredibly concerning choice he's made, and like it gives me genuine fear for his daughter. Like it's hard to even laugh at this shit because it's just fucked up.
He had AI generated CP in the background? Dude, how the fuck did you put this out? And he has spent the last, like, week being like, yeah, the woke, they want to censor my game. It's like, no, it's because you're a fucking sociopath, bro. Are they not gonna? No. We're just gonna act like they're intimidating me, but they're just gonna stand there while I get away. Right, the only actual shooting gameplay he did where these cop cars are bigger than a fucking school bus. Rainbow-colored cop lights, unfortunately, very campy, very cunty. I think that's very funny.
Oh, thank goodness Dead Domain is here to cleanse our palate with an acknowledgement of incidental camp. That's what we needed after that shit. That's genuinely refreshing. Fuck.
How is he suddenly muscular? Ah, you don't understand. This is how conservative chads operate. They activate like a sleeper, like a division agent. Yeah, check this dude's hard drive immediately. Artificial insemination lab. He had to fucking Photoshop the head onto there. Every left. Think about it. Envy was Satan's sin in the garden, and envy is the foundation of every communist, every progressive, and every leftist movement. Oh, brother. Is that supposed to be like Hillary? Who the fuck is that? White people are evil. What? What? Fucking... Dude, what is wrong with your fucking brain? What? This is so unfucking hinged. Cool. Another oh, this is like a worse Super C. Is that... Look at the shitty blood effect that's not even pixelated. If you're wondering why he's jittering like this, it's because I'm shooting in one direction while also moving, and there's no animation to do that. And I love not being able to see where the things are coming at until they're almost hitting me. This is such a cool and awesome game you've made. This will show the libs how based and awesome and normal you are. There we go. Black, overweight, disabled, lesbian, girl boss. What the fuck did I... I can't stop playing or I'll die. Oh, invincibility activated. I'm sorry. This is camp. It was just a grift. Hilarious. Awesome, dude. Because that's what the entire thing is. The entire thing was just an excuse to show him as the Chad shooting a queer person in the head. Like, that's all this was. And then he wants to turn around and be like, why won't they let me, fucking... Also, when the fuck does when did the tornado and all that shit happen? Honestly, it's fucking... I have played some shit in my day. This is... Okay, so that happened afterwards, I guess. Oh, no. All this for an hour? Well, we've been playing this for almost 2 hours. But more importantly, if you strip away the fact that I kept pausing to talk about how ridiculous and dumb his shit is, there's like, calling it content is generous, but there's like 5 minutes of shit in this game. This is... No, dude.
Yeah, did you read that? Dedicated to his daughter. Put her real name in there and added a slur afterwards for good measure. Made a game about his violent rage fantasy where he shoots queer people, filled it with CP, depicted his daughter as a stripper, and then dedicated that to his real daughter. We're beyond the grift, man. This is hate speech and causes genuine concern for the safety of his children. As many people have come to the consensus online, check this guy's hard drives. Like, what is this shit? You just made the grossest shit ever, Andy. And you're the problem. You just showed everybody that you're the problem. So, what did we learn here today? I don't know. I think as with most cases of morbid curiosity, we probably just got dumber. Replaced an irreplaceable childhood memory that we should have held on to dearly with a block of space that's now in our brain preoccupied with the shitty AI picture book pretending to be a game. So, no, I don't think we learned anything. Well, maybe we learned something.
If you're gonna be a dick, you better have jokes. And if you're gonna talk shit, you better talk it at the right folks. If you look around at all these fail-son clowns, it becomes quite clear that only cowards punch down.